Welcome to episode 20 of the Bionicle Inspiration series. Today we're doing things slightly differently like we did for episode 10. Essentially, I'm going to cover 6 MOCs today, but I'm going to go a little bit faster with each one. And last time I covered cool part usages. This time, I'm kind of still doing that, but this time I'm calling it cool MOCs, which I essentially mean like, whoa, that's really cool, dude. You did a really cool job using this and this. And I guess I'm just sort of picking out my little favorite bits on each of the 6 MOCs that I cover, instead of, because normally I'm like, that's a really cool head design. Shame I can't talk about the really cool foot that this MOC uses, because I have to focus on the head. So this time it's just like, oh, this is a really cool finger design, this is a really cool way of using that part, this is a really cool jacket. You know what I mean. So we're going to begin. The first MOC we have today is by Jaffa, and is called Sage. Now, we got a really cool plant guy. Nothing cooler than a plant guy. I really like what he's done with the fingers here. He's used some of these vine... my friend called these snot grass, because it looks like actual snot, but I don't know. The, Paraka minifigure spine pieces, or these sort of vine things, as fingers. And we've done previous episodes on hands, and I think this is a really creative way of making a hand design that flows with the rest of the MOC, because we've got this whole, plant monster Toa vibe thing going on here, which looks really cool. And using that part is a really creative way to make fingers, but still flows with the rest of the MOC and continues the sort of vibe. And that's awesome. Plus, he's got a tree growing out of his back. That's so badass. I hit my mic. Oh no. I also really, really dig this head with the grill plates at the front there. Well, not really plates, more like slopes. But that looks super Transformers-y and badass and just looks great. So overall, a really cool job, a really nice way of sort of continuing a theme through sort of all these different parts, and a great way to use some system pieces as well. The next MOC we have today is by Monarth and is called Tarik the Sullen. Tarik. I got it right. Good, I think. One thing that I think is so cool about this MOC is the leg design. It's so compact and uses some fantastic pieces and is overall just shaped so nicely. There's no gaps. It just looks great. And he's used Knight's Kingdom parts. Now, for those of you who remember, Knight's Kingdom was this theme, and they had system sets, but they also had larger models similar to Bionicles. And a lot of them came with really cool, unique parts. There's another Knight's Kingdom piece used on his shoulder here, but these are sort of the leg pieces from Knight's Kingdom. And it works super well with Bionicle, really fits with the Makuta gold mask that he's got and a lot of the other gold on this MOC, so it flows quite nicely, but using that is such a clever idea, and flows so well with the rest of the leg. And then here, they've used a piece from an Exoforce set. This one. Always loved this set. And that's such a brilliant looking knee. And has blended so well with every other part of that leg. So overall, that's really cool. And something that I think is very clever is there's a couple shots here where Tarik is sitting down by the campfire, and Monarth's built a really, really nice little campfire there. And that adds a lot of personality to these photos, really tells a story and stuff, and I think that's awesome. Brilliant job, Monarth. The next MOC we have is Peter Quill Star-Lord by Avery Burkhoff. What a cool MOC. You could build your favorite character in Bionicle. It's always possible, so that's awesome. I love what he's done with this jacket for Star-Lord, using those sort of system wedge pieces as kind of like the popping up of the collar for the jacket there is genius and looks awesome. And then even using a tire for a belt, what a great idea. And another thing, a lot of people have been like, Ben, do a weapons episode. I have. You should go check it out. But I'll probably do another one. But here, a little teaser before I make another weapons episode. Check out this awesome gun that he's made. He's used some of the new little flick fire missile things that aren't really flick. They're like the spring-loaded these guys. There. He's used some of those to create a really nice texture, because those parts actually use light and dark grey on them. So you're kind of able to get two colors in the one part there, which is actually kind of unique for a piece. So it creates a nice texture on the gun there, and looks just great. And very accurate to the movie. Another really cool addition that I like is how he's just simply used a Zamasphere for the orb that has the Infinity Stone in it. I think that's just a very clever accessory to add and is really simplistic, but really completes this MOC. There's a lot going on here, and that mask is so cool. So yeah, what a great idea. The next MOC I have here is by, I believe his name is Dominic Makepeace, and the MOC's name is Dark Lord Midas. Now, this is just a cool MOC. I mean, check out. There's so much to check out actually, but I'm going to focus on a couple things. One thing I really like is this repeated use of the fist hand pieces there on the torso. It kind of makes a nice sort of like how the Toamata have those two like dual piston things in their torso. I think it kind of looks like that and looks really like Bionically, and is a great use of, in my opinion, an otherwise like semi-useless part. I mean, sure you can use them as hands, but if you're going to go custom, then they're useless. So I think that's such a brilliant part use there. Another good part use is how he's used two of the Onawa chest pieces at the top there. This whole mock is so well shaped. There's like no gaps on this thing. It flows so nicely and just looks fantastic. But I think that's definitely a testament to the shaping on this mock. And also one thing that's really cool is how he's actually kept the stickers from the Onawa torso on one side but not the other. Initially, when I saw that, I was kind of like, man, you should have taken the stickers off. But it actually looks really cool because it blends with his weapon, which is purple. And it's also kind of like, I don't know, you look at like a clone trooper or certain armor things from games and movies and stuff. They often do just have like random patterns on them and stuff, like kind of like a symbol or a logo or just a cool pattern or something. And it's often asymmetrical like that. So I actually think that's a really clever, nice detail. I think it'd be interesting to see it without the purple on there, but when I think about it, I think it actually might make the mock look kind of bland because it is just sort of silver black. I mean, it's got a little bit of blue sprinkled in there, but I don't know. I feel like because there is so much black and silver, it might look kind of like monotonous, I guess, in terms of color. So I think that splash of purple really accents the mock and brings out some really nice details. Another thing that's really cool is how he's kind of just used a lot of big parts to create a lot of I mean, that's helped a lot with the shaping, but it's also helped to get the mock to be so large. And I think that's fantastic because you don't really need a lot of pieces to get a really big mock going. You can just, use a big freaking Onawa torso piece or the Onawa claws there and get, a lot of surface area covered, but it still look really solid. Awesome job. The next mock we have is by Brother Steven and is called Tributron. I think this mock is great. Now, it's very simplistic, but I don't think that's a bad thing. The color scheme's awesome. It uses some cool dragon heads as like knee, leg armor and stuff. That's really cool. But my favorite part here is using this psychedelic chrome space sonar piece as a head. It kind of looks a bit like Mysterio from Spider-Man, for those of you who know who he is. Mysterio! Yeah, it creates a lot of personality with the mock and makes it actually look quite unique and cool. I really like that. And it's not something you see every day on a mock. So that's really cool. Like seeing unique stuff like that really sells a mock for me, really makes it look super cool. So great job, Brother Steven. The final mock we have today is by Deus and is an Onawa revamp. This to me is so clever because he has literally just sort of rebuilt Onawa, but making it like 100% custom. So, looking at the claws, it's a custom version of that piece, and that's sort of the rest to be said with every bit of this mock. One thing I love is, I mean, you could spend ages looking at this and sort of deconstructing it, but I mean, just to cover a couple things, using like some of these grill pieces here on the arms to kind of match the grill texture on the like sort of original grey piece there. He's almost perfectly matched each individual aspect of each piece, which is extremely difficult to do, but he's done such a fantastic job doing it. There's some very clever part usages, like using like the minifigure fins as part of the sort of smoothness of the foot there. There's a lot going on here. I almost don't know where to start, but I figured I'd just essentially just include a few pictures here and let you, make out all the details yourself because it's very, very clever doing that. Essentially rebuilding a set, but making it 100% custom and sort of spending the time to really dedicate yourself to making a literal custom one-to-one recreation of each individual part and then putting it together. It's a very clever, unique thing that not a lot of people have done before. So yeah, fantastic job. That about does it for today's episode. 6 amazing mocks from today. There we go. There's another episode for you guys. Hope you enjoyed the 20th episode. There'll be a lot more coming, don't worry. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. If you have suggestions for a future theme or some mocks that you want to see for yourself in this series, let me know and send me a message. Check the description for places where you can send messages. I've included some links in there so you can check that out and send things my way. Or just comment below and be like, hey, I'd like to see this as a theme, or hey, I'd like to see this mock. So do that. Also, check the description for the links to the mocks that you've seen in today's episode because there's some phenomenal builders and some phenomenal mocks and they've built a lot of other cool stuff, so you should check that out. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.